Hi there, Rock Antenne here with Biffy Clyro. We've got James and Ben. Thank you for coming by. We're here in Munich at the Zenit right before Biffy Clyro will go on stage. Yay, so excited. We're here with the rhythm section. We've got a bass player, we've got a drummer, and a bass player in the middle. We've got a rhythm section sandwich. Awesome. It's good to have you here, boys.
Thank you for coming. It's good to be here. It's nice to be back in Munich and back in Germany. We've been here a few times this year, but nice to be back in a big old room.
A few festivals, right?
We've done a few festivals. Yeah. I think just Rock'em Park, because Rock'em Ring was cancelled, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it was because of the weather.
It's a real shame. I think it was for the best. I don't think you can risk anyone's well-being for a concert, really. But no, we love coming to Germany. We've been coming here for 15 years or something like that, and feel very much at home.
That's really nice to hear. You've been, now we're talking about Germany and such, you've been on a band break before before Ellipsis came out, before the album came out. And I think your first show was in Germany when you started back touring, right?
I think so, in Münster.
In Münster?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice place. That's a really nice place. So it's really nice to hear you enjoy Germany, and it was your first stop here after the band break. But first things first, I love your album cover.
Thank you very much.
I really love the artwork. You don't seem to be too impressed by the album cover.
No. We like it. We like it. We're maybe just a little bashful.
Yeah. Would you do a rearrangement tonight at the show?
No.
What kind of rearrangement? I can't imagine.
I don't know. Maybe before you start off the intro, right? The intro, you could just go naked on stage.
No, I don't think that's a good look.
No, only half naked on stage. But doing the album cover, I know we're kind of joking here, and we had all these jokes, and we had all the dick jokes, and we were laughing about it, of course, before we did the album cover. But it is quite a serious image. It does sort of stop you in your tracks. There is a serious side to it, and it definitely wasn't us trying to be sexy or trying to be funny. We were trying to represent sort of the journey that the band's been through and represent the music on the record, and try to kind of marry those two things together. So I think we are very proud of it. I know we were joking and things, but it is something we're very proud of.
Yeah, but what does it represent in a way?
Well, I think the band went through a kind of a rebirth, really. By going in the break, as you alluded to, and trying to forget all the things that we'd learned, all the tricks that we'd learned over the years, and trying to strip away all of our experiences and feel like we were going into the studio for the first time. And working with Rich Costy certainly was a huge part of that. But I think just the kind of stripping away the vulnerability, and I think we managed to show that with the image.
Yeah, it's a really nice image. I mean, when it's about rebirth, it's really good press. The sound on the album, I think it's always very special. It's always a very special sound you do as a band. I love that it's really so many different elements. Like, you've got alternative rock, you've got prog rock, you've got electronic elements as well. You've got computer drums, I think.
Lots of programmed drums in this album.
But it always sounds like perfectly arranged into a very much love of detail and such. Can you tell us something about the making of Ellipsis?
Yes. This was a very different recording process than anything we've experienced before, working with Rich Costy. He's a man that likes to experiment a lot, and that kind of goes against what we're used to, which is get everything nailed down at home and practice loads and have all our parts written and rehearsed to the maximum, generally to save money because we're Scottish, but we like to get in the studio and know exactly what we're doing. This time around, we left maybe half of the album. The songs were written, but the parts weren't. So I didn't know what drum part I was going to do, and we hadn't even played the songs in a room together. So there was a lot of finding our feet in the studio, and maybe recording a vocal and a guitar first, which we've never done before, and then adding instrumentation after that. So that was a very interesting way to work, and especially for me being the drummer, who's usually has all his work done in the first 10 days and then sits around for the rest of the time. So that was really nice, because I was engaged for the entirety of the record, and I was putting drums and songs right up to the very end of the recording process. So a lot of messing around, and but not with purpose, not just wasting time. And It took us 6 months to make our shortest ever album.
Wow.
So that gives you an indication of how many times we would a song would almost be finished and then we go, ah, fuck it, let's start again, because it had to feel, like you say, perfect. It had to feel like it was all flowing correctly, and there's so many different styles in this record, so to try and make a kind of cohesive album over such a short period of time with so many different styles is a challenge, so that's why it took so long.
Yeah, but you've obviously done great, because it
Thank
went #1 in Germany and the
It
UK,
did,
I think.
it did, yeah.
How proud are you of the chart positions in general, right?
We're proud, yes.
Yeah.
I think it means people like your record, and that's what you want. You know, I think in the studio it can be quite a selfish sort of megalomaniacal kind of pursuit. You know, you're really trying to satisfy yourself and hope that other people like it, but then as soon as you release it, you're like, shit, I really hope people like this. So we were proud to get the #1 in the UK, but even more so in Germany. I think to have a country kind of welcome you in, and like I said before, we feel at home here, and I think that was kind of evidenced by getting to #1. So really proud to do that in another country is amazing. But you know, we always said we were a band that didn't want to be loved by anybody, but by everybody. But the people who did love us, we really wanted them to care, and I think that's still the most important thing to us, more so than being at the top of the charts, perhaps. But it's certainly still something that feels amazing.
Yeah, but as you are a band who obviously doesn't want to be categorized because of all the different styles you put, are you?
Yes. Well, we're a rock band.
I don't care so much about that anymore.
No,
I used to really be like,
yeah.
oh, you need to use the right words to describe us, and I find it difficult to describe our band.
Yeah.
So you know, if other people use different words, I don't really.
I would just say we're a rock band that like to take risks. You know, I think that's. I know that's not a genre, but that's how I would describe it, because we do kind of pull from so many different places that it's really impossible to give a true representation of the band with one genre.
Yeah, but there's always, as you are a band who does many things and takes many risks, there are always critics, like the media, the fans. Both are like, fans have to endure so many changes in your music and such. Do you actually read all those critics, or do you care about the critics?
Yeah, we do care. I think you'd have to have really, really thick skin to not care at all. But you're trying to reach a moment in the studio where you're really perfectly happy with what you've achieved, and trying to find a headspace where nobody can take that feeling away from you. And of course, every bad review slightly claws at that and undermines that feeling. But no, we do care. I think you just got to ignore the really bad reviews, ignore the really good reviews. You know, I think just try and find a balance, and people will always, I think, especially if you are lucky enough to have a #1 record, people will always try and shoot you down and have an opinion. It's maybe fashionable to slag off bands that have had some sort of degree of success. So you have to just take these things with a pinch of salt, I think.
Yeah, but can we expect a country or hip hop album from you too?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Expect everything.
If you like to take risks, so I'd love to hear the country album, because
how about a country hip hop album?
How about
all rolled into one.
Album.
Country hop.
Country hop, amazing! Because there's one song on the record, "Small Wishes," which sounds like a country song, but also sounds like obladi oblada.
Okay.
Beatles-ish.
Okay.
I think it sounds very Beatles-ish. So
Nice. That's cool.
Can you tell us something about the song?
Yeah, it's that has caused some confusion among some of the listeners, because it is different from anything else in the record and quite different to anything we've done before. But we quite enjoy that. We quite enjoy challenging people. We've always loved folk music and music from Scotland, and I think it was always going to come out at some point. You know, Simon grew up playing the violin when he was very young, and I think traditional music's a big part of everyone's life back home. I think the song is it's the first time I think probably Simon's spoken about any kind of political ideas. I think from a personal point of view. You know, politics is sort of everywhere you look at the moment. It is a big subject, and it's quite. I guess it's hard to release a record these days and not make some comment at some point. But not to say we're turning into a political band. You know, we're not turning into to that. But I think it's important to kind of share your thoughts and feelings on all kind of subjects.
Especially as a Scotsman, right?
That's right, yeah. I think I'm waffling now. I can tell Ben's looking at me going, shut up, you're talking too much.
Shut up, that's fucking... But I think you supported the Yes campaign, right? For Scotland taking the exit out of United.
We voted for yes, so we weren't really part of any campaign or anything like that. But yes, we did vote. We did vote for independence, and it kind of looks like we're probably heading towards a second referendum on independence, because over 60% of people in Scotland voted to remain within the EU, and we're kind of being forced out of it by the rest of the country. So I think the Scottish Government has a clear mandate from the people to go and do what the people want, listen to the people, and so we'll see. It's a really difficult time. There's so much division, and I mean, even looking at what's happening in American politics at the moment, which Donald Trump's a fucking joke, but it's creating so much division. It's a really difficult time out there in the world at the moment. So I think we need music more than ever to give us some joy and happiness.
Yes. There's the where we at the fight song, Wolves of Winter. I think it sounds like a fight song, maybe like we're a band and we're cool and we're gonna whatever. It's a pretty powerful opener. Can you tell us something about Wolves of Winter?
Yeah, that song's kind of about us defending our patch of land the same way a wolf pack would defend their territory. And just over the time period since Opposites, we just had a few people close to us kind of let us down, and people that you think are maybe acting in your best interest but are really just out for their own gains. And also I think since Opposites as well, and that kind of gap, you've got a lot of people trying to tell you what they think's best for your band, and especially Simon. So you're getting phone calls from people that you think are there for us, and they're just trying to push their own agenda. So it was kind of a bit of a fight song in terms of like back off and give us our own space, because things work best in Biffy when it's just the three of us making decisions, and it's the three of us doing the album and the three of us practicing, and that's when things work right, and that's when the dynamic's perfect. So that's kind of what the song's about, and it's a bit tongue-in-cheek as well. Some people think that the lyrics are all serious, and that he's being serious when he's saying things like what we've achieved and all the rest of it. But it's meant to be taken with a pinch of salt a little bit, that song. Yeah,
tongue-in-cheek actually also was that the song came out as a single, was released as a single in the summertime.
I know, Wolves of Winter.
I was like, fuck, okay, we've got that new Biffy Clyro song we're gonna play. Wolves of Winter, it's an amazing song. But it's like 30 degrees outside.
That's not something we'd planned. That's just that happened that way somehow. It wasn't meant to be a winter release either. It's just yeah.
Yeah, well, it was really funny. It was really funny doing this. Like, 30 degrees, Wolves of Winter. Okay, whatever. Yeah, like as you said, you're a three-piece and you're doing music for yourself, of course for the fans as well, but because you loved music. When did you realize that things are getting really big right now? It's not just the three of us now. We're not going to play little clubs anymore. We're going to play stadiums.
We still don't ever think that's us at stadiums and then relax on that. I don't think you should ever do that. The club show is always just round the corner. So you can't rely on where you've got to, and it's such a fickle industry this, and you have to keep producing the goods. You have to keep being great. You have to keep playing amazing shows and releasing great records, or very soon you will be back in clubs. So I don't think there's any point. We haven't all sat together and gone, oh, we've made it, or we're a big band now. I think that could be the death of creation. And
I think some people are in such a hurry to achieve what they think is success. Some people would just think playing in stadiums on its own is successful, but if you're not happy, if you're not fulfilled, then that's not success at all. And some people would sell their granny to try and to be in the front cover of a magazine. And whilst all these things are great fun, they're not why we started. We started because we love playing music together, and we still love playing little clubs. So
we do.
It's I've forgotten what the initial question was actually.
No, it's just, when did you realise you were a big band?
It doesn't. We try not to think about it. I don't know if we're in complete denial, but we just think we're very much the same three guys that started doing this, and we're just a little bit older and a little bit uglier, really.
But does it affect your songwriting, knowing that you're gonna have to write stadium rock songs?
That's why we don't accept that we're a big band, because the minute you start thinking about your audience changing and becoming bigger, then you start writing for that audience, and that is when the creativity dies, and you start writing shit music for big stadiums. Do you know what I mean? Then your music's dumbed down, and then the whole thing is a watered down facsimile of what you were. So you can't accept you're a big band. You still always have to be that wee club band, and every single note has to count. So,
but there's a song on the album, Animal Style, which I love. It's like I hear the riff and I'm like, oh yes, I'm gonna dance. Is there any song you particularly love or enjoy playing on stage when you see the crowd going crazy?
Well, you just picked out the one that I would choose. If I had to pick one off the record, we're getting lucky now. We're getting to play more and more off the album. But Animal Style has been getting an amazing response, and it has so much energy as a track, but as a song, when you add that energy to the energy in the audience, it feels like the roof is going to come off. So yeah, that's definitely been my favourite to play from the new record. And I guess we've been playing Herix.
Yeah, we've been playing Herix on a bang as well. Is a song that's going down really well live. I guess we kind of always thought that was going to be quite a good one. It's quite aggressive, and the lyrics are easy because it's the same thing over and over again in the chorus. But yeah, most of the new ones are going down great. Rearranged is now starting to pick up a bit of traction live as well, and people are getting their phones out and singing along and everything. So we're very happy with how it's all been received.
Yeah, I'm really happy that my faith in humanity is restored since your album is like so successful. Nice. It's like really nice. Last question. I hope. Or it's not a question, but I hope you're not going back on a band break soon. Are you planning on it?
No more breaks.
No. It wasn't really a band break. We didn't tour, but we were still working at home. The band never stops.
It's never going to stop. We're in this for life. For life.
That's a contract. They're legally binding.
Thank you so much. Thank you, James. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Biffy Clyro. We're going on stage. No, I'm not going on stage. No,
you're not coming. You're not
going on stage.
Bass solo. No.
Bass solo, yeah. I'm trying out a bass solo on stage.
Rock Antenne, der beste Rock nonstop.